In this video, I'm going to tell you a few things that you won't believe. Kind of like when I got an email from my former professor and research partner, in which he asked me if I would be willing to give a TED Talk. And I'm like, oh my God, yes! And then I read the theme. Sustainability. Now, for those who don't know me yet, I've been lecturing mathematics and statistics for nearly 2 decades. What would I know about sustainability? And that was a reply of a few other people. Well, I hope that I can contribute to how a mathematician looks at sustainability. Like any real-life mathematical problem, let's start with the first step. Let's define sustainability. In the literature, specific definitions of sustainability are difficult to agree on and have varied over time. Numerous research, even in the highest ranked peer-reviewed international journals on sustainability, attempt to define it. In the Oxford Dictionary, I read sustainability. Noun, uncountable. I'm in a panic, uncountable. What am I going to do? So, as step 2, clarifying the problem and defining the goals. From the views of a mathematician, I'm going to tell you about why I moved to the UAE as a way out to guarantee my own personal sustainability because I felt that my governments will not. Furthermore, I will explain some steps on how you can too. This is an idea that I believe is worth spreading. Yes, you heard right. I said my own governments, plural. I'm a dual citizen and taught across 3 continents, and in doing so, I've been comparing these countries. Their taxes, their culture, their freedom, their healthcare system, their safety, the cost of living, and of late also inflation and people facing economic hardship. For step 3, let's identify the root causes. So imagine for 9 years I taught in the USA, and for many years I worked 2 part-time jobs. Employers just wouldn't hire full-time faculty as it is cheaper to hire part-time lecturers. That meant that I had to pay for my own healthcare. And the worst part about that is the American healthcare system is very expensive and arguably inadequate. Not that it's any better in Belgium, where I grew up. It'll take you months before you can make an appointment with a specialist. Doctors just don't even take on new patients either. Kind of like hairdressers who don't take on new clients because, well, I assume they're just too busy. Without a full-time job, I would not be able to predict how many courses I would be lecturing next semester, and so therefore I wouldn't know how much I would be earning. Yet, I, with my 2 part-time jobs, paying for my own healthcare, had to contribute equally as much taxes to the government as a full-timer. How much money am I actually giving away to the government? Income tax, consumption tax, capital gains tax, property tax, and the tax system continuously changing. And then you just gotta ask yourself, am I happy with how my government is spending my money? Another war, printing money, subsidizing. What about the quality of education, healthcare, roads, defense, security? How about the safety in your schools, in the streets, in your home? Another thing, in some countries, you're not even made aware of how much of your income exactly goes to taxes. It's just not made very clear. For instance, how much consumption taxes there are. It's just not made visible. When looking here in table 1 and 2, in which country is the tax visible? Yes, in country B, you are made aware that 40% has gone to income tax and then 20% has gone to consumption tax. In many countries, you don't see those taxes taken away from your paycheck or on your bill. You just don't see them. So if you don't notice them, if you don't see them, if you don't see how much is going to taxes, how would you be annoyed by it or define it as a problem? Additionally, most governments can impose new tax laws through legislature. So for instance, your 40% income tax can now all of a sudden change to 45%. or a new increased capital gains tax, or a new wealth tax. Then there's this thing called academic inflation. Sir Ken Robinson spoke about academic inflation in what I believe is one of the best TED Talks ever, called Do Schools Kill Creativity? Let me explain. To get a full-time job in my position, you needed a PhD to teach what Belgians learned in 6th grade to university students, of which half failed. I might exaggerate from time to time. In Belgium, we learn in middle school what I taught at university and for which a PhD degree was required. Unfortunately, this is not an exaggeration. So after receiving my net income, I had to pay for my own healthcare plan and plan for my own pensions, such as a retirement account, IRA, individual retirement accounts. In other countries, this is called differently. So even though I contributed equally to the tax system, I still had to do that all on my own. Now, do you know for sure that your pension, your government retirement account, will indeed still be there when you retire? And when you take that money out, whether you take it out each month or you take it out in a big chunk upon retirement, guess what? Yeah, you have to pay taxes again. Qualified withdrawals from a Roth IRA are tax-free now, but how do you know this won't change in the future? In Belgium and many other countries, after retirement and after you've been working your whole life, now your retirement is less than what you earned all your life. And again, are you sure your government will still have pension left when you retire? Another cause. In 2022, inflation hit a multi-decade high in most Western countries. So besides paying high taxes, worrying about retirement, having to deal with academic inflation, governments increasing taxes, paying for an inefficient healthcare, now most people also start worrying about inflation and other economic hard times. Bloomberg claims that there is a 100% chance of a recession in 2023. At the end of October 2022, for an Instagram post, I compared gas prices using globalpetrolprices.com and concluded that gasoline in Belgium, and Belgium being representing an average cost in Europe, is 146% more expensive than in the UAE. Meaning that in Dubai, if you pay $100 or 100 euros, whatever currency, for gasoline, then in Belgium, for the same amount of gasoline, you'd pay $246, euros, whatever currency. Another example, my cousin's electricity bill increased 614%. And no, this is not an exaggeration. And of course, I did not make a calculation mistake either. Remember, I'm a math lecturer. This you can believe. So throughout most Western countries, house prices are through the roof, gasoline has become unaffordable, and the electricity prices, can you even believe it? How is all this sustainable for individuals? Step 4, develop and execute an action plan. If you feel like your government is no longer serving you, according to Andrew Henderson from Nomad Capitalist, there are about 250 countries and territories in the world that you can choose from. So I moved where I feel like I can live my best life, looking out for myself now, looking out for my future self. This country, the UAE, Dubai, most people just know Dubai. There are 7 Emirates, but Dubai is the most known one. So this country attracts foreigners who are willing to work, invest, or start a business. And this was my way out to sustain myself and my future self. And it could be yours too. And I get it. That decision is not easy. There are a lot of reasons to hold you back from leaving your home country. You bought a house already. You're worried about your children. You think there will be no better friends than the friends that you have now. And you think you'll miss your family too much. But maybe it is time for you to think how you will sustain yourself and your future self. Your government might not even pay your pension when you retire, but neither will your children, your friends, or your family. So I suggest the following steps to execute your plan. Travel around, get to know a few new places, chances are that you might fall in love with another country. Then legally move some money to an offshore bank account. Find a country you feel like you can settle in. A safe country, an affordable country, a country with easy visa requirements, a country that has a lot of sunshine if that's what you're after. In your home country, sell your property and buy a property elsewhere. House prices right now are, in most Western countries, sky high. And it seems like they're coming down again. Of course, you don't know when they will rise again or if they'll keep going down or go back up. But from a mathematician's point of view, now is a good time to sell. You bought your house for, I don't know, $350,000, and now it's worth $500,000. So take that equity and buy a new property in a country, often for a fraction of the price. Rent out this property until you're ready to move there yourself, and then rent a property in your home country. So by buying property or applying for a job or opening a business, many countries provide a second residency, a golden visa, or even citizenship. Evaluate the results and improve if needed. So once you have moved and you're earning a decent income, a sustainable income. For example, here are the net incomes for high school teachers. And your employer pays the healthcare, and healthcare in the UAE is actually really affordable and really more adequate than a lot of other countries I've visited. Sounds great, right? Now, don't forget why you moved. Keep your end goal in mind. Somehow, what I notice in my new world with the people around me is that since people are now all of a sudden making a lot more money, they also drastically change their lifestyle. New lashes, nails, hairstyle every week, buying expensive cars, purses, clothes, brunches, parties. I mean, the list is just never ending. Eating out, ordering food pretty much every day. So before in your home country, 20% goes to savings, because you learned that from your economics teacher, right? So in the example of the teachers, you are saving $360. Now, after moving, if you just save the same amount, that would mean that you're only saving 9% and not the recommended 20%. What's the point of moving if you start spending it all? Overall, I feel so lucky. Here in the UAE, I feel safe. So safe even, in fact, I don't lock my door or take the keys out of my car. So my giveaway is, if you feel your government is no longer serving you, if you feel that you cannot sustain yourself or your future self, and you don't think that there's going to be any change, there are many other countries in the world to live your best life. This was Sustainability by an expat who lectured mathematics for 19 years and is now a lifestyle and real estate and business consultant here in the UAE.